Every couple of years, we think it's a prudent thing for us to do to make sure, number one, we're being responsive to the community's needs, and two, make sure that our members fully support the direction we're taking, and that we have their input on the focus we should be applying to our major initiatives. So it just seemed like the right time for us to do that and make sure we had a good map for the next couple of years of where we wanted to focus our time and energy.
I would say in general the priority of this committee is to establish a business-friendly public policy. Within that general description, we primarily accomplish this through a program that we've had called Partners in Governance.
There's a tremendous consensus around the core initiatives: business-friendly public policy, transportation, aviation, things of that sort. But we also realized is that we felt we needed to do more to reach out to Illinois. We need to understand the issues even more than we do today.
The statewide transportation issue, our focus now is merely a public awareness such that we can posture the issue properly, that we could go forward with some form of either legislation or ballot initiative. I think it's important to recognize that while these are our goals and initiatives, that they cross over all the other initiatives that RBC has. We certainly have a major initiative as far as K through 12 education. If it was a situation, and we think potentially there is, where legislation would be beneficial to help that certainly would be a goal of this committee.
There are many challenges that we're faced with. As you all know, the St. Louis Public Schools, in my opinion, are in the middle of a crisis. Therefore, we have to really narrow our focus and look at priorities in order to accomplish the many tasks that are before us. And one of the major tasks and priorities will be to bring stability to the district through our support of the Special Administrative Board, in addition to very focused areas such as the support of new teachers program, leadership in the schools, and more specifically some of our support with the Teach for America program. So that is where we want to focus over the next few years. As the global world becomes more dependent on high technology, and as Americans we're starting to lag, that's another focus that we want to concentrate on by helping to raise the bar and the scores in the math and sciences. And we would like to also initiate some recognition programs of teachers and administrators who have demonstrated successes in those areas. Bringing a new successful charter school to town like a KIPP is one that we really think will raise the bar for student achievement and also narrow the gap. Hopefully we'll change the system to the point internally that once the elected board comes back in place, the SAB goes away, we will have stabilized the system in the St. Louis Public School area. And hopefully we'll have an impact on the charter schools as to what our expectations are through metrics and measurable outcomes for the achievement of the students, that, you know, regardless of who's elected or regardless of who the new superintendent is going to be.
The Diversity Committee's main priorities involve the promotion and retention of minorities in all businesses, as well as the strengthening of minority-owned businesses. The biggest challenge we face is being able to measure what we feel so strongly about. Diversity in St. Louis is something that's, I'd say it's fallen behind for a long time, and we're just now at a point where we've created enough of a stir around the community where things are starting to happen.
When we analyze what we have done so far, for instance, the pilot project we had launched with 20 of our companies some 3 years ago, those companies reported back that there was tremendous value to them. It gave them a focus. They could organize their activities around that focus. And frankly, we brought some resources to the table. People really knew how to begin these kinds of programs and companies that our members found very helpful to them.
Another success that the Diversity Committee would like to build on is just the general education amongst all companies of the role that they need to play in helping promote and retain minorities in our businesses. And some of those things involve extraordinary types of measures like recruiting hundreds or even thousands of miles outside of St. Louis and bringing folks to St. Louis to show them that it's a great city. There are so many programs, whether it's in construction or whether it's young leaders, where we're at a grassroots stage, and we know they're successful. We know they've never been tried before. So everything we've just talked about, I think we're going to continue to enhance those programs, and if we can find more and new programs that we've not dealt with before, we'll certainly be open to that.
The major priorities for the committee are to attract and retain a diversified workforce while also approaching and assisting higher education's role in economic development. The major successes have been the Mentor Network and the African American Corporate Network. We're going to continue those efforts, and in addition to that, add the speaker series, increase the emphasis on math and sciences, as well as the Young Leaders Network that's going to be critical to the future development of the higher education collaboration.
A large percentage of our members are very actively involved in our outreach, our higher education collaboration to the 13 colleges and universities. We've been focused on business schools, but last year we launched a new focus on engineering schools, and that has been very well received by our members. A high percentage of our member companies hire engineers, and there's therefore a huge demand for those students. There's a broader goal. We want the universities to be better connected to business. We want their faculty and students and administration to understand the opportunities that are available in St. Louis.
The other challenge that we seem to have is being able to obtain the correct metrics. What gets measured gets done. And we want to make sure that our programs not only are targeting the students' needs, but actually have the results that the RBC members need, and also the results that we're looking for when we speak to the economic development within the region.
Quality of Life is an interesting committee because really it's an umbrella committee for the activities that we're involved in, high impact in the community.
I think the most important thing that we learned as a committee through the planning process was that we have these long-term commitments to the United Way and social venture partners, and that as we judge our future successes, we need to have high impact opportunities such as the Arts Ground, the Final Four, dome issues, ZMD from time to time, Forest Park, where we can make a difference in a quantified time limit with measurable goals and objectives and then move on.
The RBC surveyed the membership as to their interest in healthcare issues, healthcare initiatives. And with a 40% favorable response, many of the members were very interested in healthcare. Our sense was that by developing a wellness initiative, sharing best practices, and trying to determine if those types of programs could accomplish the goals of providing quality health care at reasonable costs might be something that would be beneficial to all the 100 RBC companies. In addition, it would provide a database of knowledge about health care that would be helpful to the RBC as other interested parties approach the RBC about our views with regard to health care.
When we look back at in the next few years, we'll say, wow, this planning process brought us those kind of opportunities and we seized them. We were proactive, we led the community where we should, and then we moved on and let others take it the rest of the way. When I've gotten into some of these smaller groups, when people are talking about what they want to do with the public school system or what we want to do with to retain talent in the community or what we want to do around business diversity, I mean, the passion just comes through in spades, and it's remarkable. These are all folks that have not just a full-time job, but a stressful, high-impact full-time job. And they have this time and energy that they commit to our initiatives that is just remarkable. Having gone through this process of listening to our members and now about to enter the phase where we're communicating back out to the membership what our preliminary findings are, and then in about another month we'll come back out to the board and the community and say, here's our direction going forward. I think we'll have everybody focused on the same goals, and we'll have everybody rowing in the same direction to accomplish those goals and strategies.